Hello. Uh,
Hi.
I'm so glad that you can join us as a part of this seminar to talk about patients with dementia and Alzheimer. Okay, I want to introduce Mei Leong. She is taking care of, or she's in charge of Hillview Aged Care Home in Johor Bahru. Would you like to tell us a bit about Hillview?
Oh, yes. Hillview is the place where, for the elderly, our vision, our leaders' visions previously or initially was actually to look to for those elderly with the mobility, you know, something like for retirement age. But
Mm,
at the end of the day, we realized that it's just not about retirement because, as you know, that for the Chinese, filial piety plays a very important role in our Chinese community. So as long as the children, only when they think they are not able to look after their parents, then only they will think about aged care home. So when I first started this place, I realized that, gosh, those coming in are those with they either they had they have their with their mobility, but then you realize that it's only on mobility, but it's also on their mental status. That is Alzheimer or dementia. And I was really, really very new about that. But it really interests me when I realized that suddenly, you know, what made them to be like that, you know? And of course, on the medical perspective, people are trying out to slow down this disease. But at the end of the day, if it's too much of medication, I realize that our elderly become a bit like zombie. So we try not to give them too much of medication unless we're not able to control their behavior. So what I understand from the dementia is all talking about managing their behavior. So how do we do this? When we start to attend many seminars and trainings with all my nurses and our caregivers, we realize that it's all about human to human connections. It's all about human and human connections. So it comes to interaction, and we come with facial expression, tone, eye contact, and touch. I realized that so now when I have any new cases coming in, the first thing that I must do is to welcome them to this place because they can actually, when they see you, they really tap you on your face, and they tap you on your facial expression, and they tap you on your tone. So when I say, welcome, auntie, wow, you look so gorgeous, you look so pretty. Oh, they can remember that. That means they feel that they have a sense of belonging in this place. Oh, you accept me as who I am. So when I say about interaction, I realize that many of us, or maybe caregivers to our loved ones with dementia, we lack of this interaction. Because we really always say we like to say remember I told you that, remember? And maybe we say something like, what a person of dementia, they cannot remember. They definitely cannot remember. When you ask them, do you remember what you had for your breakfast? Don't you remember that you had a fall yesterday and I put you on a wheelchair? I can guarantee that they will get very upset. They'll definitely get very upset. Because imagine, even for us too, we will get very upset because when we constantly keep reminding them, you know, this one and that one that you have to do, and they cannot remember, and they upset, and we get upset. So the only thing that I always remember when I say remember is only when I talk to them about their past distance, back to 20 years ago. Then I will use the word remember. Other than that, I don't use the word remember. Yeah. So another thing that I always try to interact with them using the word can rather than I ask them to you. So when I say, Auntie, can you help me with plucking of the vegetables? Rather than I say, do you want to pluck vegetables? Definitely say no. Why should I? I pay for this place.
uh-huh.
You know? I pay, you know, why you want me to pluck the vegetable? You know, I do not want to dirty my fingers. I said, no, auntie, you know, so many things. Can you help me? I cannot handle my own. You know, you're very good at it, you know. So when you use the word can, they feel like, wow, you need my help. Then they will come and do it for you. So you don't ask them, you actually involve them in. Yeah. So we just use that word. I think that's about all. Yeah.
I think that's great. That's great. I mean, when you talk about memory, I think one of the issues they face is that they can't remember, and they always have this thing of asking the same question again and again and again. Okay, how do you deal with that? I mean, after they ask the same question 20 times, you know, have I have lunch yet? Have I have lunch yet? Then 5 minutes later they ask you, have I have lunch yet? So how do you deal with that?
We actually agree with them. We will never say no. So let's say we have, of course, this is very common over here. You know, they will say that they'll start to blame you for not giving them food, even they already had. So we are being in a way that we plan with others. So if let's say the auntie say she hasn't got her food, okay, come auntie, never mind, you haven't got your food. Oh, so sorry. Come, let's go to the behind. I get some food for you. So we just give us some food. We'll be very happy. Yeah, we just do not go against them because this is story. For them, it's true. You know, so we just have to go along with them.
So that means instead of answering the question 20 times, you will distract them with something, is it?
Yeah, I believe they have this you know, we call it the emotional tank. You know, so whenever we keep their emotional tank lift up, they will stop asking that question.
Okay.
I remember one time this auntie, you know, was with us many years ago. When she first came, I normally would ask them about their history. Okay, their history. And this auntie, she lost her husband at the age of 28. You know, in an accident, in a car accident. And then she was during that time she was expecting. When she came over here, she was already 80 plus. Okay, and she kept thinking, you know, that she has the child with her. All right. So one day, and she was a very difficult person to look after. And one day we realized that as if she was expecting, you know, she was like, oh no. And then she started asking a lot of sorbet, you know, those sour plum, you know. So I told my friend, I think, you know, she's going back to her past, you know. So we go along with her. We went along with her. We bought some sour plum for her. And one day suddenly, the way she walked, I said she's going to be at a late stage of her pregnancy. She couldn't live up, you know. I said she was like, you know, she was holding her bag and she was walking, going up to the lift, and you know she was holding her bag. I told my girl, I think she's going to experience that she's going to give birth. And indeed, after 1 or 2 days, she was like, you know, oh, 我的孩子要出来了, you know. I said, oh, this is so real. It was so real. It was really, Mama, it's an eye-opening for me, you know. And I quickly got my girl, okay, we have to do it. So we, you know, because she was already 80 plus, so we only can do something like back to her memories. So we took a patient, we took a, you know, so we pretend. So we pretended that we are helping her out to deliver that baby, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So it went, but it's just that it stopped in a way that after she thought that she delivered, and she was okay. She was okay, and then she's back to her normal self. So that particular chapter was closed. It was closed. So I was like, oh my goodness. You know, something that I learned that I never seen this type of thing before, you know. Yeah, it was so real. It was so real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Now, and another thing I always wonder is that, you know, for example, if they have somebody who died, say, 4-5 years ago, okay, and then the person asks, where's Ajay? Where's Ajay? Do you tell them that, oh, Ajay died long ago, you know, or how would you answer them?
Oh, I said, Ajay, So I say, oh, who is Achai? They will say so and so. Oh, such a lovely boy. Let's say, okay, for instance, I have one. She is 96 years old. Her husband is older than her by 20 years old.
Mm.
And she thinks her husband is still around.
Mm.
So one day I tried on this method. Okay, knowing that it won't work, but I just tried. I said, auntie, because she speak a very fluent Malay. I said,
Mm.
auntie, suami tua auntie 20 tahun. So kalau suami masih hidup wah suami sudah 120 tahun You know, I said that,
Mm.
And then she said, yeah, dia masih hidup Dia masih hidup lagi, So
Mm.
I realized that she could not, analyze that. So I said, yeah, So I say, so apa nama dia? Amok. Oh, okay, kenapa panggil Amok? Sebab dia gemuk. You see? So the conversation, we
Good.
continue with the conversation. Oh, then I said, yeah, nanti saya suruh Amok datang ya.
Mm.
Dato' Amok super. So every day she think the husband is still around until today.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that's important because for them, they live for the moment. So, if they ask you, where is Achai? And then you say Achai died long ago, they actually go through the grief. So that means if they will forget, then they ask you again. So that means they can go through the grief reaction many, many times. You see? So it's horrible to be like that. You see? Yeah. So how will you describe the progression of this condition? Early Alzheimer to more severe one.
Yes, I can say that, some can be very mild, some
Mm.
can be really overbearing, you
Mm.
know. Yeah. So like the mild one is more like forgetful, And I realized that there are happy dementia and the bitter dementia.
Mm.
You know?
Okay.
The happy one, they're very happy. Anything is okay. They will laugh all the time. They are very kind. They will accept you as you are, and they are very easy to look after, you know. But of course, their behavior is something in a way that their behavior will be different in a way that they will in and out the room. They will take out their clothing, put back the clothing in. Yeah. So that is their behavior. And the difficult type is the one that is very suspicious, a
Mm-hmm.
very suspicious one.
Mm-hmm.
They'll start to accuse you, you know, and they will scold you with all kinds of bad words. Yeah, that was a difficult one. Yeah.
Mm.
So when you tell me about the mild one or the later one, I can say more to behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the Alzheimer, it's more to the neuro in a way that they start to lose their mobility
Mm-hmm.
until to the end stage where they not able to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Alzheimer.
I think that there is a lot of insight. Okay. Now, the last question. Okay.
Yep.
How will you advise the caretaker? Somebody's because nowadays people live longer, so our
Yep.
generation have the parents are still alive, and then we have to look after the parents and our kids. So and as you said, a lot of we being Asian, we would want the parents to stay at home rather than go to aged care homes. So what
Yeah.
advice would you give to the caretakers?
Yeah. You see, actually, we have many queries. You know that Hillville is very difficult in a way that we always have not enough space for them to come in.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, this is also a place where we make friends with others who are really having problem to take care of their own parents. So this is also the place where they call me to ask for advice.
Mm-hmm.
Even they're not here, so we
Yeah.
become friends. So normally, what I would tell them, embrace with reality,
Mm.
accept as they are, and it's the disease that we are dealing with. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and don't argue, because children always like to argue with their parents, because
Okay.
because a state of denial, they cannot accept that their parents are going through this disease.
Mm.
Yeah. So when I say don't argue, is that what is true for them versus what is true for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes, as I said, like, as you said just now when we discuss about she might stay with my dad, your dad's still alive, just agree with her, you
Mm.
know. She say your
Mm-hmm.
sister and brothers coming back home later for dinner, yeah, agree with her. It's okay. It's
Mm.
okay. You know? And nothing, don't treat them like a child. You know. There'll come to a day where they're not able to scoop and to feed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But we cannot just straight away, just feed them out of our convenience. We have to try to use their hand and let them feed. Try. We don't feed them immediately
Mm-hmm.
because they still want to feel that they are useful. Even they're losing their memory, but they can feel it. The feeling is still there. It's still there. And then if they get agitated, we must understand what's bothering them. Sometimes we think that, they cannot remember, but they can feel it. They can feel it.
Mm.
And then treat the way that we want to be treated. Treat our moms and our dad the way that we want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they get mixed up with the names on place or the events. We shouldn't get frustrated about that. We shouldn't get frustrated. And then I realized that sometimes children, when they know that their parents have dementia, they stop bringing their parents to the parties, to the family gatherings. I think they should not do that.
Mm-hmm.
They still should include them in, because they're afraid other relatives to know that this is what my parents going through. I think they shouldn't be ashamed about that.
Mm.
They should accept it. They should accept it. And this is a family thing. Everyone should learn about this. The awareness must be there. And continue to hug them, to hold them, to listen to them, and assure them. The assurance is very important. To know that they're still the person that we love. Yeah.
Amen.
And then,
Yeah. One last question. Always got one last question. Now, aged care home Hillview is actually run by Holy Light Church, so it's a Christian church that runs it. But we accept people from whether they're Christian or non-Christian. Now, as a Christian yourself, how do you feel people with dementia? What is your relationship with God? What is your personal impression about that?
okay, they only can feel it, the love. They could
Mm.
feel the love. I have one resident who passed away. Even she had dementia, she always say, 耶稣很好，耶稣爱你，耶稣爱我. She will always say that. And one day she will tell me, one day I said, would you like to become a Christian? 你要接受耶稣吗? She said, 可以啊，我要。不过你不要跟我的孩子讲。Can you imagine that? She could say that even she had dementia. I said, why? She said, 不可以跟我孩子讲，我孩子说不可以。So at the end of the day, when she passed away, I told the children that she accepted the Lord, but the children still want to go through the, because of the husband's tomb, they want to put them together. So it's okay as long as she's with the Lord. So there are actually quite a couple of them here, actually, they accepted the Lord, even they had dementia.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Praise the Lord. I mean,
Praise the Lord.
That's great to hear that. So thank you very much for your time and sharing with us. Okay, God bless you. And
Thank you.
I hope that you have plans for dementia center or something like that.
We are actually doing all the activities related to the dementia, center, because at this moment we have mixture. So I cannot just, but I can see the new check-in, the new admissions are all related with dementia. Yeah. So it's going to be probably now it's about maybe 70%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Residents with dementia.
So there is a great need, and thank you for helping to fulfill that need. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Alex.